Hey everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you're having a great day. There is a lot of stuff going on. So let's dig a little deeper. I dropped the short. If you don't like sitting through the whole video, do me a favor, go check out the shorts. It's a separate playlist. Same channel, just a playlist, and you'll be able to catch little blurbs and blips about what I'm discussing and what's on my mind these days, my kids' minds these days when it comes to crypto. So first one up, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because you can do your own research and you can see, you can go deeper into who Roger Ver is and why that's actually a big deal. But Roger Ver has a lawsuit against him for $87 million. That's right, 87. Why? He owes 47 to CoinFLEX, and CoinFLEX has basically had to shut their doors. That's not what they wanted to do. It even says that on their website. I feel bad for them. Hopefully they get their money and that'll be that. Don't know what the deal is with Roger Ver, but the point isn't yet another centralized exchange going out of business. It's really about pay attention to how much exposure you have to these third parties, right? And the reason why I say so is because if you were holding your money on an exchange and they go, and shut everything down, your assets are stuck. But if you're holding it in a non-custodial wallet, whether it's, cold wallet like Ledger, Ledger Nano, or, Trezor is another cold wallet that you can use, or if you're using a mobile wallet, but something that's decentralized or non-custodial so that you have control over your money. Not decentralized, but non-custodial. So that you have control over your digital assets. That means you have the private keys. Yes, it puts all of the onus and responsibility on you to not lose your private keys, but it also means you're not going to lose your digital assets. So the chances are seriously diminished that you're going to lose your digital assets. So long as you don't lose your private keys, you're good to go. So you can write those down and put them in safety in a true, safe, whether it be in a bank or someplace else. I wouldn't put it in a bank. I get my own fireproof safe and put it there. But you understand what I'm saying. Then you have the Financial Stability Board. That is an arm of G20. It's a watchdog for G20. The G20, all of those countries are really thinking about, well, do we follow China and create a CBDC? Because China's out there. They've already got it, digital yuan. But I sit there and I just kind of wonder, yeesh, that's a lot. And that's a lot. So they're contemplating that. But the FSB is expected to come out with some suggestions on crypto regulation in October. This is right on the heels of the United States saying, hey, we have some ideas on crypto regulation as well. So that's going to be a lot to unpack when it finally comes out. So pay attention to that because I think it's going to be a very big deal. It's another move that I think is big and might be foretelling of what's going to happen in the institutional investment industry and even retail, right? You can see certain moves that are happening with retail. You have FTX investing in Robinhood, 7.6%, right? So they're in under the radar. They're not an insider, but that's still a significant chunk. And it's real easy to step that up and get in there. But ING Bank had a custody platform, a crypto custody platform, and they just sold it to this company, GMEX, GMEX. And GMEX is a company that provides institutional trading platform technology. So imagine institutional trading with custodial crypto services. A platform for that, a platform for this, and the natural marriage that can happen there. You want to know what I think the only thing that's missing? Tokenizing of assets and then flipping that into DeFi. Yes, it's further out, but I think that would round out the services that they would offer. And I have to tell you, they're not the only ones that are thinking about that. I keep saying that, JP Morgan is already there with their Onyx Digital Assets team. Citi's already there. Goldman's trying to make moves in that space. and a little bit more direct. Like they've made a play for a couple of opportunities that make you stop and go, huh, interesting. So those are things that I'm paying attention to. It's not necessarily the specifics, but it's the kinds of businesses that are looking to merge with other kinds of businesses. Those firms offering certain kinds of services because they can see what's coming. It's not hard to see. Traditional finance has got to change what their business models are, not abruptly. I wouldn't say it's abrupt, but I would say that it's necessary. The future is changing, and it's changing now. Get it? So something else that's on my mind is looking at Celsius. Celsius has been paying down some debt. They've been paying down some debt. So they paid down some debt to MakerDAO. They paid down some debt to, I think, just today or yesterday or something like that. Maybe definitely over the weekend. They paid down some debt to Aave. And now they're using the same firm that supplied bankruptcy services to Voyager, which is Kirkland and Ellis. They're using that same firm. So they've ditched their current lawyers or their previous lawyers for Kirkland and Ellis, and Kirkland and Ellis will handle the bankruptcy proceedings from there. Those are big moves. Those are big moves, especially after that snafu. Remember, FTX was going to do something, and I think it was Celsius that had that $2 billion kind of hole. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Something that I've just been following is GameStop. GameStop finally released their NFT marketplace. Now, that's not what's actually, a big deal. It's the fact that they released it on Loopring. And remember, there was that whole big fiasco. Originally Loopring was supposed to do it. There had already been a lot of work done. So even I said back then, it was a few months ago that I said this, that I didn't think that they were going to move, transfer all the work over to ImmutableX. I thought that they were going to do it on Loopring and then move to ImmutableX so that they can keep, a relatively soon launch date. And turns out that's pretty much what they did. And what they're also saying is, well, ImmutableX, operability will come at a later date. Wait a minute. Hold it. That did not sound like they're going to move. It sounds like they're going to add. Follow? So that's something that caught my attention. Something else that's catching my attention is, you're launching this NFT marketplace long after NFTs have kind of run their course almost. Now, I'm wondering what kind of business model they're going to have, because that would make the difference in what kind of money they're going to make, right? So we'll see. It still has to play out. We have to see what pans out in that business model, but GameStop's making moves, and, that's not necessarily a negative move. I mean, look at all the content that they have and everything else that they have. I mean, imagine, doing an NFT for proof of ownership of a game or whatever have you. There's a lot GameStop can actually do, besides pretty little pictures. Something else that I want to make note, I mentioned this yesterday, and I just want to reiterate today. The next few weeks are actually, crucial weeks. You have a lot of information that's coming out. You've got the consumer price index, you got the producer price index, you have a whole bunch of data, a whole bunch of metrics that come out this week and following on that will help to determine the health of the United States economy. Now, if you look at the United States economy and you put that to the side, I also mentioned yesterday that, Europe is going to have a major problem with energy. So that could swing them into a really fast recession and hard recession, because Russia's about to shut off Germany. Europe's been talking about, hey, we're not going to touch Russian oil, blah, 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 blah. And Russia is taking a stance of, well, if that's what you want to do, we'll just cut you off now. So that's going to be interesting. Now, it's not totally one-sided. And I say this because right now there's a bank run going on in China. Now, with that bank run going on in China, why is that? Well, they've been loaning out a lot of money. So now their people want their money. Because they're loaning a whole bunch of money out to Russia. Russia doesn't have a lot of money. That's a problem. Right? Other countries, they're loaning out money, or other countries, whatever, don't have a lot of money, maybe not paying that back. So they're having not a little bit of a bank run. They're having big bank runs. So you couple China with issues in Europe, and now you're talking about, in my eyes, a global collapse. And you might say that that's a little far thinking, but think about this. The dollar is strong, right? The dollar is maybe too strong because that means that our exports are too expensive for other countries to import. That affects us. I told you, last week? We already reached parity with the euro. 1-to-1 parity. Now, if Europe goes into a deep recession, that means the dollar is going to propel above the euro. I was speaking with one of my friends who's involved in Forex, foreign exchange, and we both said, listen, there's a lot that can go on there. If you were going to buy, now's the time that you could buy. And I said, yeah, you could buy a little bit now and then wait and then buy some more. Because people are talking that, the euro could drop, to mid-90s. I'm thinking euro could drop way more than that. I'm thinking the euro could drop to mid-80s. Now, will it come back? So long as the European Union stays a union, is what I'm thinking. Now, if it does, sooner or later, I think it'll come back. Year or two, I think it would come back, right? Because now they're starting to talk about that, well, nuclear is green. Technically it is, right? Dangerous, but green. Just the risk of it going not green could be big, but if it does well, nuclear can do well. And if you upgrade technologies, things like that, keep it safer, yada, 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 nuclear can be considered green. And that's what they're doing. They're talking about how nuclear can be considered green so that they can start firing up those old nuclear plants or revamping nuclear plants or even building new ones. So there's a lot in that. There's a lot in that space to unpack. So there are a lot of macro events that can make the world go into pain. And crypto might be the only place where there's pain, but not that much pain. And you also have to consider that in the United States, we could really realize pain. Look at the lights that I have. That could cause pain. Energy could be an issue here, is an issue here. Have you seen the gas prices? So that could be a very big deal. So pay attention to everything that's going on out there, because you're talking about things that are going from the here and now into the immediate future and beyond. And this is what's been on my mind as of late. I don't have a lot of answers, which is why I do my own research, right? Let's get into the numbers, because today is not a great day. I'm not even gonna show everything, but I think there are things that we could be paying attention to. Let me open up the windows though. Just give me a moment. There you go. So the fear and greed index right now is at 22. I think it's going to take a dive. I think it's going to go lower again. Is it still 22? Oh, it's at 16. There you go. Took a dive because it was 22 when I reported earlier, right? So now it's at 16. That's a big drop. 74. Yeah, it's not a big deal. I really don't care about DeFi. Bitcoin though. Do you see this? Bitcoin's about to go below my lower inner band, right? So right now it hit 22, right? It hit 22 and now it's been on a steady decline. So it gave back almost everything that it gained. So it went up and now it's not as abrupt as this going up, but definitely precipitously going down. It is what it is, right? And I had said, unless I see a sustained number for Bitcoin above 22,000, I'm not going to believe that this is a recovery. Do I think it's a dead cat bounce? Not really, but I didn't think that it was going to be a sustained recovery either. And it's not. It's not, because there's nothing really driving it upward. But there are a lot of macro events that can happen that can pull it down. The difference is that those same macro events are going to be pulling the world down. I hate to be the guy that's talking grimly, but it's almost with everything, right? United States experiences recession first. We have things that we can do that other countries can't do because of the way our financial system works. So we hit it first and we come out first, right? And when it hits us, it's less of a hit usually than Europe. So this is what I'm expecting right now. So if I'm everybody else, if I'm saying it to my kids, bank your money. I'm just telling them bank your money. That's what I'm saying. And then take a portion of that money and put it in different places so it's working for you. That's really what I'm saying. I mean, I could show you a nice, beautiful red picture over here as long as it shows up. It always takes so long. And here you go, BTC 19,868, dropping, right? You just saw it drop right in front of us. Cardano's down, Doge is down, SHIB is down, Avalanche is down, LTC is down, just everything is down. I mean, what kind of green do you have? You actually don't have a lot of green. Matic is up, but not up by much, right? It's really not doing anything. It's just not taking a big loss because they had some good news. They've been steadily having good news. Okay, but you can look over here. Most of the market is down, right? And remember what I'm doing. I'm not just looking at the market, 1 hour, 24 hour. I'm looking 1, 24, 7 day, 30 day, 90 day, and year to date to see, well, how deep does that green go? How deep does that red go? And in some places you're seeing, well, hey, wait a minute, that the red is deep if you look at 90 days, a year to date, but look how far deep they went with going up. Uniswap, seeing money leave, Uniswap so much, but still 30 days, 26%, almost 27%. So you're up for a longer period of time. And the same thing with Polygon. But that's not across the board, as you can see. As you keep scrolling down, you don't have a lot of, nice pictures like that. Right here, Quant. Quant is something that I'm interested in. It was on my list of ISO 222 coins, compliant coins. Good project, strong security. That's why I'm interested in them. And this 30 day at 41.5%, that 7 day at almost 29%. This is proof as to why I'm paying attention to them. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. Just want to deliver a little bit more news, a little bit more food for thought. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and definitely hit the notification bell so you know when I'm dropping a new video. And as always, do your own research. Have a great day.